Hey, it's Jared with State of Tech. Today we're going to take a look at some cases for the iPad Pro. This is the 11-inch model, but all of these cases are also available for the 12.9 as well. But we're going to be looking at the 11. And I have both of those iPads because I have a video on kind of comparing the two. Maybe you're not sure what size to get, or you're in that decision-making process. Should you get the smaller iPad Pro or the larger? Definitely check that one out. But I have some cases, and I went and ordered the kind of the top rated cases off of Amazon. I have the Apple Magic Keyboard case, whatever they call it. I love this case for getting actual work done, sitting down, typing stuff out, responding to emails and stuff like that. But it's just not a very good case for casual iPad usage. So, you're sitting on the couch trying to relax or whatever. It's just not the best experience for that. And rather than going with the traditional iPad cover and having both the iPad cover from Apple and also the keyboard, which is expensive, I opted to look at some alternative options. So we're going to take a look at those. Starting with the ESR Magnetic Case combination. This is the Rebound series, and this particular case I did order off of Amazon, as I did with all of these. So if you want to see some of the cases, the pricing, many of them come in different colors, different finishes, and even some alternative options. And so rather than go through an exhaustive pile of all of those, I'm just going to take a look at a few here and let you decide for yourselves. And I'll give you some thoughts along the way. So this case, let's get the little protective cover off there. This particular case, it does look a lot like a standard iPad case. We've got some little card in there. And this case is going to cover both the front and the back, which is important to me when choosing a case for the iPad. So we'll go ahead and set the iPad in there. I'm going to push this case off to the side. It magnetically attaches to the iPad, which is great, and then it closes and it has a cover. And if you notice, the cover does also cover the pencil as well, which is important. There's so many times that I have had this pencil fall off in my bag or fall off in my truck and I have to go digging for it. So this cover over the case here, over the pen or the pencil, is absolutely fantastic. Of course, it is that standard kind of roll-up kickstand model here. So we have that ability for display. Of course, there's no keyboard or anything like that here, but we do end up with this floppy, this thing kind of hanging out, and it's a little floppy, and I don't necessarily know if I like that. It will magnetically kind of attach itself to the front of the iPad as well. So I don't know if I necessarily like that. Probably with a little bit of resistance over time, I could make it just kind of, oh, there it goes. It actually did snap into place. It didn't do that the first couple of times. So that's nice. It does magnetically snap to the back, and then that way we don't have it flopping around, as you can see here. So, and there it is. I just needed to give it a little extra love. So I like this case. Off the bat here, I think I have a winner because it's a very slim case. It covers and keeps the Apple Pencil from falling off, which is absolutely fantastic. I have that ability to just kind of roll this up and hold the iPad like a book, which is something that I haven't been able to do for a while because I've been using the Magic Keyboard case. Of course, reversible as well for the right hand. This is a little flimsy down here, so I mean, I have to use a good portion of my hand to hold this in this orientation just so that I can have like a grip back here, but you also don't have to do that. You can fold it all the way flat as well, and yep, there we go. Okay, that also works. So now I've got, the standard way I would hold an iPad if I was sitting on the couch, maybe wanting to read or something like that. I can hold it in either orientation, and that would be nice. So I'm digging this case already, and definitely check out the links down below because that's where you're going to find the links to these, and you can go directly to Amazon and check them out. Just a little plug, and to be transparent, they are affiliate links to Amazon. Even though I did purchase these myself and these companies did not send them to me, if you click on a link and purchase one of the cases, it does help support the channel, which I greatly appreciate. All right, so this next one is from, see, how do you pronounce their name? Fintie, F-I-N-T-I-E, Fintie. It's the TPU case for iPad Pro, and it has kind of a faux leather finish to it, so we'll go ahead and get that out of the way. So this case already has a little bit more protection going on. The other case, the first one we looked at, didn't really have any additional protection going on, so let's go ahead and take that out and get this iPad into the case. This was one thing that I noticed when I was looking on Amazon, and I was kind of deciding, is this one something that would be interesting to me to check out, because it does have some added protection, and it was very obvious that it had an Apple Pencil holder here, which is really nice. So awesome. I really like that. It folds out just like the last case, so it does have kind of the kickstand mode. It has the protection up on the top, and your Apple Pencil is in there, and you can just kind of, let's see how hard it's going to be to get the Apple Pencil out of here. The Apple Pencil, well, you just push up with your finger through the little hole. That makes sense. So another thing here, I guess you could probably put your pencil, I don't know why you would want to do that, but you could put your pencil right in there, which is cool, I guess. The buttons still all work really well, even though they are, there's a good bezel added here, I guess you could call it, and it adds a little bit of a distance, but you still have access to the buttons. So yeah, I like this case. It's a little bit thicker than the previous one because of the added protection, and this case is going to make me feel a little bit more secure about traveling with my iPad, because I've got the edge protection all the way around the iPad now, which was something that the last case didn't provide, and really even Apple's keyboard case doesn't provide it either. It does on the bottom where the hinge is, which is not really the way that I would choose to protect a product, by the hinge. I wouldn't call that protection, because you could damage the hinge too. But yeah, I'm digging this case because it adds the protection. It adds a little bit of thickness, which is kind of good for me. I like the ability to, well, I don't know, holding it like this though. This kind of flops down like that, okay, so I don't like that. And when you're holding on over on this side, you're kind of squeezing the pencil, the Apple Pencil, quite a bit, and this is kind of a loose connection here, and so as I'm squeezing this, the Apple Pencil is not charging anymore, so I have to put my thumb on the actual display, which then could result in some accidental movements, just tapping on something, swiping on something. So I like this case, but I wish that it magnetically connected itself to its backing to keep it from flopping around. That's another thing, is this case does have a lot of kind of side-to-side action here, so it doesn't feel very stable. But what I do like is the added protection that it does provide, and of course it does connect magnetically here, which then shuts off your screen and all that good stuff. So I like that about the case. So you can't win everything. This case definitely doesn't win everything, but it does so far win at protecting the display and also the edges and all that good stuff. Also, that Apple Pencil most likely is not going to fall out of there either, so that's kind of nice. So let's move on to the third case. This is the ZtoTop case, ZTO top case. It has kind of a leather finish to it here, so definitely a little bit different of a style than the previous. It has that that notebook feel to it. I am liking this so far because of that, and a little bit of edge protection here that we're going to have as well, which is a nice little surprise. So let's go ahead and snap the iPad in and close it up. So this definitely looks nice and professional. I mean, if you are looking for something a little bit more professional, because maybe you want to take this to a meeting, this is going to give you that look. It looks like a nice planner or notebook. It has a sleeve here on front with plenty of room for some business cards or something like that, which I do like. It has a strap that comes over the front. That way it keeps itself from falling open. And let's see if it has any form of magnetic that would keep it. It has a little magnet in there. I could feel the little magnet, which is just, I think, just for the unlocking of the screen, or the, opening of the screen. We do have a slip here for a pen or something like that. You could put your Apple Pencil in there. Of course, it's not going to charge when it's there, so you could put another pen or pencil into that spot right here, which is nice, but there isn't anything that's going to prevent your Apple Pencil from getting bumped and falling off and disappearing. So that part is kind of a bummer. But I do like how clean this looks. When you fold it open, there's a little bit to grab onto here, so I could even tuck a finger in there, as you can see, and that is very stable as far as holding the iPad. There's also a little bit of a handle here if I wanted to put my hand in the handle. It's a little flimsy, and I don't think it really is necessary for it to be there, but it is. And yeah, not too bad. Easy access to everything. It just really has slight corner protection, not a whole lot of protection. It's not going to provide really any face down glass protection, but of course, when it's closed, there's plenty of protection there. There's a good amount of thickness added to the iPad just to protect it. Camera's still accessible, ports still accessible, as you can see here. There we go. And so yeah, I like this case. There's some things that I would do differently, such as give it some sort of Apple Pencil protection to keep that from getting lost, but otherwise I like this case. And maybe this little handle here, either I'm using it wrong or it's meant to hold in like a paper or something like that. I don't know, maybe there's another use for it. But it also sets up, just as the other two cases, this one has different slots for different viewing angles. And so not too bad, not too bad. I don't mind this case at all. It definitely would need a few little things different just to really sell it for me, but overall a great case. And the prices on all these cases are pretty inexpensive as well. If you look at the pricing on them, they are not going to break the bank, and they come in a lot of different color variations as well. So this case, very similar, just with a different backing, a full plastic backing covering as the second case that we looked at had. Let's go ahead and snap this one in and see if there's anything that I like better about it over the second case that we looked at. So this one has, instead of having a leather feel to it, it has kind of a fake brushed metal feel to it. I know that that's not what it is. It's more like a nylon or whatever, but it does kind of have that brushed feel to it. So it's not too bad. I like the feel of it. The backing is interesting. I kind of feel like it's going to be a fingerprint magnet, maybe. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's okay. I'm not a huge fan of that, but it's okay. Obviously, nothing holding the Apple Pencil in place. It's probably not part of the design, but there's nothing there holding it in place. This, of course, goes up into a kickstand mode, just like some of the other cases do. And let's see about holding it single-handedly. So you'd have to hold it. There's no way to kind of get a finger back in here. So you'd have to either fold this down completely. And with it folded down completely, you've got this flapping in the background. There is a little bit of a magnetic hold there, barely, but not enough to really hold it in place. As you can see, it's like it doesn't take much for it to flop away on its own. Maybe holding the case this way, holding it this way with the port at the top, so technically upside down, is not too bad. This isn't terrible. I definitely have to put my thumb over onto the side of the screen to hold the iPad, so that's not the best. But it's also not terrible. So this is not my favorite case so far that we've looked at as far as slim, this fold-up kickstand style case. But it gets the job done, and it's definitely inexpensive, and it has that more kind of it's like faux metallic feel to it. Still plasticky, but not typical plastic feel. It does have kind of a metallic feel to it, unlike the other cases that we've looked at. All right, so we've got one left. Have you picked out your favorite yet? If you have, let me know down in the comments below. Let me know what your favorite case is so far of the ones that we've looked at. Now, there obviously are tons of case options available. Here's another one from the ZtoTop cases. This is another one from them. I thought that I ordered from 5 different brands, but sometimes, you know, you just don't know what you're going to get. And I may have been looking at images instead of brand names. I was trying to give a few different brand names a try here, and looks like I got 2 different cases from the same brand. So let's see what we've got here with this case. You know, a little bit more involved in the packaging there. The reason that I went with this case is that it was a lot different than the other cases. This particular case is a 2-piece case, and it's going to protect your iPad all the way around. So rather than it being kind of a folio type of case where, you know, the top folds up over the iPad and protects it and is also utilized for like a kickstand or something like that, this case is more for handheld use out in the field. You want protection on the face of the iPad. You want protection on the base of the iPad as well. And so that's where this case comes into play. So I'm going to take that out real quick because the Apple Pencil will snap in there as well, but not until we have put these guys together. So I'm going to go ahead and put the iPad on the front screen here first. Now there is a screen protector on this, or a protector to keep it from collecting fingerprints and all of that stuff. Ooh, you know what? I need to clean my iPad before I do that. So I'm just going to go ahead for our purposes here and just go ahead and put this together. And if I like this case, I will go back and take that off. But I don't want to pull the plastic off and then add a bunch of fingerprints that will then be difficult to get out of there. So let's go ahead and get this guy snapped into place. With these cases, even on phones, they can be kind of a pain in the butt sometimes to get put together. And there is instructions, and I'm going backwards, and that is why it is kind of a pain in the butt. So let's go ahead and slide the base in here first. I think that's what the instructions are trying to tell me. Sliding the base in first and then working the case around the edges. I've also had phones almost get stuck in these cases too in the past, and it'd be a real pain in the butt to get the phone out of these 2-piece cases because there just is a lot to them. They're really nice for protecting your devices, but sometimes they can be a bit much. So let's see, we are just about done there. Okay, so the pencil then would slide right in here, snap in. Okay, how do I feel about this? Well, it's been a long time since I've had a case like this on an iPad, so that is definitely going to take some getting used to. As you can see here, the case protects all the way around the iPad, including the back. There's a lot of protection on the back and the sides and the edges, and then of course with the screen protector here on the front, protecting it against scratches, which of course you can get screen protectors for your iPad and use that with any of the other cases, but this is just a little bit different of an experience and it's all built in. So the pencil here, as you can see, snaps in, and I like that. It makes it nice and easy for me to get the pencil in and out. Pencil can still charge. Everything is nice and simple there. I really like that. It just kind of snaps in and holds. It feels almost as nice as when you attach the Apple Pencil to the iPad without any case on there at all. You have a port door on the bottom, so as you can see here, there's a port door and the speakers are accessible. That's nice because if you're in more of a working environment, a lot of times you are going to get dust and debris in your charging port. So having a charging port cover there is pretty nice. We also have plenty of cutout area to access everything on the iPad. The volume rocker feels pretty good as well. So this case also has a kickstand on the back of it. So if you need to go into display mode for giving a presentation or something like that, you're able to do that, or even just, watching some TV or watching a YouTube video like this one, something like that. So not bad. I think I would maybe look at some different options just to see, because I know there are a lot of cases out there that are like this. What I do like about this is that, they thought of everything. All the sensors are exposed, so you don't have any issues there. You're not losing any of your display. I mean, they did a good job putting this case together. It's got really good protection in the corners, for the accidental drops and stuff like that. And it does make me feel a lot more secure about my iPad if I was taking it out in the field and I didn't want a cover on it. So not too bad, not too bad. So let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Do you like these cases? Which one do you think is the best? And of course, there are links to all of these cases on Amazon below as well. Clicking on those links and making a purchase helps support the channel. You can also see all the colors and all the prices for all these cases as well. These are all relatively budget-friendly cases, so it might be a great secondary option for you if you opted to go with an Apple branded case or something like that, or maybe one of the higher end brands that are out there. So let me know what you think down in the comment section below, and make sure to check out the 11-inch iPad versus 12.9-inch iPad Pro video as well, so you can hear my opinions and thoughts on the different size iPads. Also see, if there's any performance difference, or is the display any different between the two versions, even though we know that there is because Apple says that there is, but what does that look like in the real world? We're checking those things out. So make sure to subscribe to the channel here on State of Tech, and I hope to see you back in the next one. Take care.